But I'm not a professor. I do want to go to college though, because that's pretty cool too. Okay, let's do this. This is the final draft, or I hope at least is the final draft of a project that I've been going past through the last week or so. I made like 5 rough drafts. I made so many just iterations of this final product, hopefully, that you see behind me. So, let us explain what this mess is. By first going back to the basics. Motivation. Why are we doing any of this in the first place? Well, it's not actually because of college. Well, yeah, it is, but that's the second thing. The first thing, the reason why we're doing this, is to prove to my parents that I can handle managing myself. Because I am a very independent boy. I don't like it when other people give me their schedule and I have to follow it. I have this ambition to be independent, to not just in like the sense that most teenagers use, but like independent as in independent of my time, as in I can control my time. So basically, I don't have to go to school, high school next year. I told you guys that already, but that's the one thing I want to focus on right now. I don't have to go to high school next year. Sophomore year, I'm staying almost all of it at my house. But I need to convince my parents that I can control that, I can handle that responsibility. And that's what this is, first and foremost. That's what this is. That's what this is, not that. Okay, so basically, remember my 3 big goals: $1 million, million subscribers, 25 on the AMC. All of those goals were when I had maybe 4 hours of free time in a day. Now I'm getting 16 hours. That's 4 times more free time. I better get 4 times as many goals, or 4 times as big goals. So that's what all this is. This is what my life will look like for the next 4 months, to prove first and foremost that I can handle controlling myself. Second of all, Stanford. Of course, that's just a name. That doesn't actually mean anything. To be honest, just this college. It symbolizes college. So we've got Stanford up here. That's second of all, college. That's the second thing. The first, of course, is the responsibility thing. So let's actually break that down now. Let's talk about what this huge mess even is. So right here you see what looks like almost like a globe, I guess. It looks kind of weird. It looks kind of, I don't know, it looks kind of arcane. This symbolizes the different strands of my life, little threads that all tie together that will bring me from point A, which is where I am right now, to point B, which is Stanford. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that everything that I'm doing is connected. So even though it looks like there's a lot of things on this, if you just break it down, you can it's not that much. So these strands, they're like threads that coil together to make a string, and that string will tie me from here to there. Let's call it rope. Rope sounds better than string. So those are the strings. Well, what are the threads? What are each of these threads going to look like then? So the threads are the things that I'm focusing on. So like the little topics that I'm going out of that all connect together. So I think the best way to explain this is to use this triangle up here that is helpfully labeled summer of 2018. So up here is college / improving myself. This is the I can control myself responsibility. This is the second goal, going to college next year. Below that, we can separate everything into 2 things, into two categories: my goals and the fundamentals. So the goals obviously are the things like million subs, stuff like that, like concrete raw numbers that I can use. The fundamentals, on the other hand, that's like the things like being able to manage myself in the morning, like having the basic life skills needed to function on your own, like being able to cook and stuff like that, being able to make your bed. I am not very good at these, so that is why we separated it into 2 goals. And you can actually see here, this thick thread right here, this doesn't actually mean anything. This is just a division. This division separates things into goals on this hand, and then what's it called? Fundamentals on this side. So we can further divide the fundamentals and goals into these 6 categories: coding, making money, exploring, creating, learning, and thinking. Well, thinking, learning, and thinking and learning and exploring, those are fundamentals. Creating, money, and coding, those are the goals. So let's break it down even further, and then these are the actual things that are going to be used, right? So like these are the things that make up these 6, that make up these 2, that make up this big goal up there. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that more in depth. What are the actual goals? So let's see. edX, which is a type of course that you can take online, plus testing, we're going to need that for the admissions policies. Like get a perfect score on the SAT, get a perfect score on the ACT, 2 SAT subject tests perfect, 5 courses taken, get certified for that. So those are the tests. Making money, 3 ways primarily: stocks, tutoring, and developing freelance. So freelance and tutoring both come from coding. So like I'll be teaching other kids code. I'll also be freelancing. So that's the ways to make money. Stock, as you guys probably know, I'm not very good at those right now, but we will be working on that. I will figure out how to really do the stock thing. Next, wow, that's a nice snort for me. That's nice. Nice pig one. I haven't snorted literally in like 3 years or so. So that was a nice unique thing for me. I don't know what I'm saying. Next one, AMC. So this is basically to hone my math skills. I want to get a higher score than on the AMC 12 than a 20 by June. So that's before I leave school. And then by the time in July, I want to get something over 23. That's pretty self-explanatory. Code, like I explained, that separates into 3 things: my own projects, freelancing, and tutoring. So those 3 things, I need to get the skills needed to actually tutor by June once again. Oh yeah, sorry, these lines: August, July, June, May, and then this one's September. So like this is just a timeline of the next few months. Yeah, so code, I need to get the skills needed to do this, and then to actually start tutoring right now, and then make a bunch of money right there, over $1,000, and then over $1,500 at September. Next one is Footsype. So I want to figure out the final form before I leave to June, and I want to post every single day for 2 months straight, and then maybe get to 10,000 subs by the end of September. So at this point, you guys might be saying, oh my gosh, Edwin, there is just, or you guys might be thinking, you might say this to my face, but there is absolutely no way that you can do all of that and still actually accomplish everything. And that I say to you, I will explain in a second. But anyway, let's go back to this. So now that we've covered the goals, let's go back to the fundamentals. So look at these: cook, time track, pray, Chinese read a book, Spanish read a story, write a 1-pager, read over 2 hours, free time of thinking over 1 hour, cello and piano must add up to be 1 hour, and experimenting for over an hour. So those are all the things I have to do every day in addition to my actual work. How in the world could you find the time for all of this? There's no way you could do any of that. Whoa! Yeah, this is how I'm gonna do it. So I made a special type of schedule that I don't think anybody's used before. I call these restrictive schedules. Basically, you divide up your day into these little sections where you have to get this much done, this much done, this much done, this much done. And within each of those sections, you have these periods of restrictors. So like things that you have to get to, like a cello practice or something like that. So something like a hard deadline that you can't miss, like a sports practice. And the thing about those is that you never procrastinate near them, because you know that you have to go at 6 o'clock, so you're like, okay, I gotta get this done before. So basically, I divide my day up into all of these so I don't procrastinate, all of these little boxes, and in between each one is a little restrictor. For example, right here, I'm gonna be joining a club from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, so I have to get out of the house here, and I have to come back here. I'll be going to the library somewhere in between here. Like basically, the point is there's going to be restrictors, so I never procrastinate, get everything done within these time limits. And yeah, I probably, if I be completely honest, will not be able to do everything on that sheet, but I sure as hell am gonna try. So yeah. So this was this video was supposed to be an experiment on dialogue, but see, I've got no friends, so there's not a single person in here. Not a single person except for me, even though it's just like 60 seats. See, like, not even little Jimmy would join me. I don't have any friends.